Welcome to Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissy Sperduto, the podcast that's like having a personal action-taking coach in your pocket, giving you bite-sized tips and small mindset shifts every week. I'm your host, Chrissy Sperduto. I'm a network marketer turned action-taking coach for business owners who grew her businesses while holding down a successful career in aviation. I'm on a mission to help you fit your business into your everyday life because I believe you are capable of doing some pretty amazing things no matter how chaotic your life is. Consider me your no-nonsense business BFF, helping you learn how to get it all done quicker, easier, and with way less mental drama. Join me here on the podcast each week where we'll chat everything from systems to help you fit your business into real life, to business tips, plus time management hacks, mindset shifts to help you find the courage to take that next step in your business, and real life experts to inspire and empower you to go after your goals. Let's go, CEO. We have work to do. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or wine, no judgment here, and get ready to ditch those inner mean girl thoughts ringing in the back of your head so you can embrace your inner badass and go do the dang thing. Hey, my friend. Welcome back to the Do the Dang Thing podcast. Okay, today's episode is for you. If you have ever set a big, exciting goal only to start questioning if it's even possible. Maybe you have told yourself, I don't know enough yet, or I just need the perfect plan before I start, or if I don't see instant results, I must be doing something wrong. Does that sound familiar? It does to me, because I've definitely said all of those things. But I'm here to tell you, your success is actually inevitable if you decide that it is. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to need a plan, but if you decide that you can reach the goal that you set and your success is inevitable, your brain will start problem solving for that. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. I want to walk you through 5 powerful thoughts to try on as you build your business, and ones that will help you shift from second guessing everything to actually believing in yourself and taking action like the CEO that you are. Now, these are generalized thoughts that I hear people having all the time that I coach on quite a bit. You might have thoughts that are a little bit different, but I think you'll relate to these 5. And if there are thoughts that you have that don't fall into this category, I just want to remind you that you can always work with me either one-on-one or through the Do the Dang Thing membership and get coaching on your specific thoughts. So the podcast is definitely like very generalized advice, generalized thoughts that I see happening in the industry with people that I'm coaching. Success is always available to you if you're willing to dive into it. And so don't sleep on the resources that are available at your fingertips, including the membership or one-on-one coaching with me. So just a little caveat there. I want to tell you a quick story before we dive into today's episode. And I want to take you back to the day that I made probably the biggest mindset shift of my life. So back when I first started in network marketing, I was sitting in my upline's house watching our company's annual conference. It was like in the height of COVID, so everything was online. But she was like, hey, there's like a very small group of us that would like to get together for the conference. Do you want to come over? And I said, yeah, sure. I had been selling the products for about 8 to 10 months at that point, and I had known about the conference, but I wasn't sold on building this as my empire or doing anything crazy. It was a couple of extra $100 a month for me at the time. But as I'm watching this conference, I heard them start talking about incentive trips, and they were announcing winners and displaying the upcoming trip, and it looked so good. Especially because at that point, we had been quarantined for what felt like forever. There was so much more social distancing and staying home out in front of us. And I really had no idea that we could earn those trips, or like people real people earn those trips just by growing our business. Like no one was like, oh, Chrissy, yeah, if you double your sales, you can actually earn one of those trips too, and they'll pay for you to go on vacation. And I remember when they announced it and we started seeing the promo videos for the next year, I was sitting there thinking, wait, you're telling me if I show up, I do the work, I hit my numbers, I could take me and my husband on an all expense paid trip to Punta Cana? And at that time, we had gotten married in the height of COVID. We actually got married December 29th, 2020. I had just gotten over COVID. He was still quarantined. We broke quarantine to get married, and my best friend came over and married us in our kitchen, and our family attended our wedding on Zoom. So if that's not the perfect 2020 love story, we had also gotten engaged in our living room in August of 2020. So we really were like the COVID love story. Let me just tell you that. But we had not gone on a honeymoon. I don't even think at that point we had gone on vacation because we weren't allowed to leave the house. And so at that moment, I realized that this was an option. Like, I decided right then and there, sitting in my upline's living room, that I was going to figure out how the heck to earn that trip. When I got home, I was all excited. I told my husband, and his response was, "That's impossible. There's no way you could do that. You would have to increase your sales every single month and for 12 months straight. Like, you would have to, I think it was like double or triple my best sales month I had ever had. I had to like double it or triple it for all 12 months, and we were already a month into the incentive period. So logically, he was right. The math was not mathing, but I didn't care. I didn't care how impossible it sounded. I decided in that moment that it was possible. If other people had figured out how to do that while raising kids, while momming, while working full time jobs, I decided it was possible for me too because I said that it was possible. And from that moment on, I got to work. I didn't wait for the perfect plan, but I started problem solving and figuring out what I needed to do as I went. I was not in any crazy coaching programs. I did not have a coach. I did not have a perfect sales path. I just decided I was going to earn that trip and I was going to figure out what I needed to do that. I knew how to make my first sale because I had done that. I had proof that that was possible. Now I just need to figure out how to do it more often. And by the end of the 12 months, I earned the trip with 3 days to go. And not just that, but during that time, I learned how to get scrappy. I learned what the building blocks were that made that business successful, and I built a foundation in my business that kept me moving forward long after that initial goal was reached. I created momentum. And you might be like, okay, Chrissy, that's cool. You earned a trip one time. Why am I telling you this story? Because this is what I want for you. I want you to stop questioning whether success is even possible for you and start acting like the person that is going to figure it out no matter what. Start acting like the person that the impossible, oh yeah, of course that's possible. When I earned that trip, by the way, my husband was like, I don't know how you did that. Like, I seriously thought you were going to crash and burn and like miss it by half. I was like, no, you told me it was impossible, so I had to prove how it was. Okay, so for the rest of this episode, we are going to go through 5 mindset shifts that are going to help you step into that energy starting today. And then I'm going to tell you about a really cool thing I have coming up that will also help you start to shift your mindset, just little tweaks at a time. That's going to be a little bit more hands on than just listening to a podcast episode. Okay, let's go. The first thought that I hear all the time is I need to have everything figured out before I start. My friend, if you are waiting to have the perfect plan before you start, you're never going to start. You learn by doing. For example, when I decided I was earning that Punta Cana trip, I had no clue how, but I did not let that stop me. I just focused on the next thing that I could do, that I knew I was possible. And then the next thing, and then the next, and then I refined it, and then I got help through a coach, and then I asked my current customers for help. And so I want you to shift your thought from I have to have everything figured out before I start to I don't need all the answers. I just need to take the next step. And so ask yourself, what is the very next step that you can take today? You don't need the whole plan. You don't need the next year. You don't need the next 6 years. Just the next step. What do I need to do today to take that next step? Thought number 2 is if I'm not instantly good at something, I shouldn't do it at all. Too many people quit before they've even given themselves the chance to get better. Think about any time you did something new. From your first Instagram reel to your first sales call, your first live video, the first time you tried yoga. Were you amazing? Probably not. But you kept going and now it's second nature. And so I want you to try on this thought from if I'm not instantly good at something, I shouldn't do it, to I am willing to suck at this before I get good at it. So ask yourself, what's one thing that you've been avoiding in your business because you're afraid of being bad at it? How can you lean into the messy beginner phase and just enjoy being a beginner? Okay. The next thought I want you to try on is if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. Perfectionism keeps you stuck, okay? But messy action creates momentum and helps you move forward. So, you know this already. I don't show up perfectly every day. Sometimes my stories are chaotic, they're out of order. Some week my content is off, but I continue to show up even if it's not perfectly polished. You'll see most mornings when I'm posting to Instagram stories, my hair is greasy, it's up in a bun. I'm still in my pajamas because I don't care. Someone doesn't need me to be perfect. Someone doesn't need me to go through an entire podcast episode without making a blunder in order to have transformation from me. And that's why my business continues to grow because I stopped saying, if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing, to consistency, not perfection, is what creates results. I tell myself that all the time. I still struggle with perfectionism, everyone does, but I tell myself over and over consistency, not perfection, is what creates results. So, how can you shift your perfection mode into progress mode today? All right, the next thought I have for you is I have to do it like they do it in order to be successful. And it's really easy to compare yourself to what other people are doing, but success isn't one size fits all. Just because their business is successful looking a certain way doesn't mean that your business is unsuccessful because it looks your way, right? So back to our 5 a.m. story. I used to think that I should be waking up at 5 a.m. because other successful people did. If you missed it, this was the previous episode. But when I stopped forcing it and leaned into what worked for me, I became way more productive because 5 a.m. is not when I'm productive. 8 a.m., 10 a.m., I can get a lot done in a little bit of time because I'm awake and I've already had my coffee. So I want you to shift the thought of I have to do it like they do it to be successful to I get to decide what success looks like for me. So, my friend, what is one business habit that you're forcing yourself to do because you think you should do it? And what would happen if you did it your way instead? Okay? Anytime should comes up, I should be doing something. Like, that should be a giant red flag. Our fifth thought is I'll believe in myself once I see results. Ooh, you know how debilitating that is? Success isn't something that just happens overnight or in one day. It is something that you step into now and repeat and build the evidence over time. And when you start acting like the business owner who has already hit her goals, that's making decisions, that's showing up, and that's believing in herself like she's already there, she's already reached success, guess what? You get there because you believe it. So I want you to say to yourself, instead of I'll believe in myself when I see results, to I am already becoming the version of me who hits this goal. My results are inevitable. Okay? What is one action that you can take today that future version of you would thank you for because you stepped into that version of you that hits the goal? Okay? Lots of journaling this week. I want to challenge you to grab your journal, listen to these last little things, and write down what comes up when you think about these thoughts shifting. Okay, now I do have one bonus thought for you before we sign off. The thought is, what if this all goes wrong? And the crazy thing here is that fear makes us focus on the worst case scenarios. Our brains are wired to be fearful because when we're fearful of things, we don't do them and it protects us from the unknown. But I want to give you permission to tell yourself, what if this works out even better than I imagined? Now, I only earned that trip to Punta Cana because I decided to go all in. I decided that no matter what, I was going to give it all of my effort. And if it does go wrong, I'll be okay. But I decided in that moment, what if this works out even better than I imagined? What if I run really hard and I earn it? Instead of, what if I run really hard and I don't earn it? I changed it to, what if I run really hard and I earn it? How cool would that be? And you know what happened when that mindset shift happened is I earned the trip and I built the skills and habits that led to long-term success that I'm still using those skills and habits in a completely different business altogether. So, if you just went through these thoughts, maybe you're going to get your journal out and you're going to journal about these, and you've said to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I've said these things to myself before." And you know that you want to get out of this endless loop of looking at the worst case scenario, always being stuck in the negative thought loop. I want to invite you to my new mindset challenge called Get Out of Your Own Way Challenge, where we are going to get out of our own way with these negative thoughts that keep popping up, and we're going to learn how to reframe them in ways that are way more productive. So, if you've ever caught yourself saying, I know what to do, I just need to do it, but then you don't, you're not lazy, you're not unmotivated, your brain is just getting in the way of your progress because that's what it's designed to do. So, by the way, you are not alone in this. I coach business owners every single day on small mindset shifts like these that get them out of their own way and into action. And I'm going to be showing you how you can do that yourself in the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. For 5 days, we are going to deep dive into why you sabotage your own success, how your thoughts and feelings are shaping your results, whether you realize it or not, and most importantly, what you can do to break the cycle and finally take action in your business. This is not just another little fluffy mindset challenge. This is really going to help you get to the root of why you're stuck and teach you how to shift your patterns so you can create the business results that you actually want. This challenge will not be free. This is a pay-to-play challenge, but it will be totally worth it. For $29, you are going to get daily video trainings that break down everything that I'm teaching, just like I just taught you here, with visuals in a way that makes sense. You're also going to get access to a group WhatsApp chat where you can get accountability and support from me and also the other business owners that are doing the challenge alongside of you. You will also get small daily action steps that help turn your awareness. So it's one thing to listen to these things and be aware of your thoughts, and it's a whole nother thing to actually take action on them and build momentum. So there will be action steps for you every single day to turn this awareness into momentum. And finally, there will be a group coaching call for you to get support for anything that feels sticky throughout the challenge and for you to see what it's like to actually work with a certified mindset coach on your daily business struggle. So, honestly, the coaching call alone is worth way more than $29. So, this is such a steal. I can't wait to see you in there. The challenge runs from March 17th to 21st, 2025, and I can promise you this. If you show up and you do the work, you will start seeing yourself and your business completely differently. So, if you're done overthinking, you're ready to actually do the dang thing, go sign up in the link in the show notes and let's get you out of your own way once and for all. So, until next time, keep on doing the dang thing, my friend. I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissy Sperduto. If you know someone that could benefit from today's chat, please send this episode their way and be sure to leave a rating and a review so more business owners can find the podcast and be inspired to take action on their goals. Also, I love to see what you're doing while you listen. Share what you're up to while you listen to today's episode and tag me in your stories at Chrissy Sperduto for a shout out. If you'd like to explore more resources like my free monthly coaching call and learn how we can work together through one-on-one coaching or the Do the Dang Thing membership, head to www.chrissysperduto.com. Please always remember that you are not alone in this adventure. I am always rooting for you, bestie. Until next time, keep on doing the dang thing. Bye.